We've all been told that healing comes from something external, a pill, a prescription, a therapist's office. But what if that's not the whole story? What if healing also lives in the small, unseen things you do each day? Like taking a breath before reacting, or finally letting your shoulders drop when you realize you're safe. Here's the myth. Time heals all wounds. But for many trauma survivors, time alone doesn't heal. It just buries the pain deeper because trauma doesn't only live in your mind. It lives in your body, in your heartbeat, your breath, your reflexes, and even the way you brace yourself around people who remind you of the past. Medication can absolutely save lives, but not everyone has access to it and not everyone feels ready for it. So today, we'll explore 6 science-backed ways to help your brain and body heal without medication. Ways that teach your nervous system what safety feels like again, okay? 1, grounding yourself back to the present. When you've been through trauma, your brain sometimes acts like it's still in danger, even when you're safe. Grounding is how your senses remind your brain that the threat is over. A 2017 Frontiers in Psychology study asked trauma survivors to practice grounding daily for 10 minutes using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. 5 things you see, 4 you touch, 3 you hear, 2 you smell, 1 you taste. After 8 weeks, their nervous systems were calmer and more stable during stress. It's not magic, it's awareness. Safety begins the moment your body realizes it's allowed to stop fighting. 2, gentle movement, reclaiming your body. Once your senses remember safety, your body can start to move again. After trauma, many people feel disconnected, like they're living beside their bodies instead of inside them. Gentle movement like yoga or Tai Chi helps rebuild that lost connection. In a 2014 Boston University study, women with PTSD practiced yoga twice a week for 10 weeks. By the end, over half no longer met the clinical criteria for PTSD, compared to 21% in the control group. Brain scans showed reduced activity in the amygdala, the fear center, and stronger regulation in the prefrontal cortex, where calm begins. Movement isn't just physical, it's your body whispering, I'm back. 3, expressive writing, turning chaos into story. If movement helps your body release, writing helps your mind understand. Sometimes healing begins with words no one else will ever read. In the 1980s, psychologist James Pennebaker found that students who wrote about their deepest emotions for 15 minutes over 4 days had stronger immune systems and fewer doctor visits months later. Writing helps the language side of your brain talk to the emotional side. So what once felt unspeakable can start to make sense. It's not about reliving the pain, it's about turning chaos into story. 4, somatic therapy, listening to what your body's been saying. Your body remembers what your mind forgets. Somatic therapy helps release the tension and reactions that never finished during trauma. The fight, flight, or freeze that got stuck inside. In a 2021 European Journal of Psychotraumatology study, veterans received 12 sessions of body-based therapy. MRI scans showed calmer amygdala activity and improved emotional regulation. Some practitioners approach it differently. It's not one size fits all, but for many, it's the first time they felt safe inside their own skin again. 5, safe relationships, healing through connection. If trauma isolates, healing reconnects. A 2020 Stanford study followed trauma survivors for 6 months and found something powerful. Those with even one emotionally safe relationship, not 10, just 1, had 40% fewer PTSD symptoms. It wasn't about how many people they had, it was about how safe they felt to be seen. Consistent love and safety rewire the brain faster than isolation ever could. And 6, creative expression, turning pain into meaning. When words fall short, creativity speaks. Art, music, dance, they're not just hobbies, they're ways of making sense of what logic can't. In a 2019 Arts and Health study, survivors who joined art therapy programs showed lower cortisol levels and higher engagement in brain reward pathways than those who only talked about their trauma. Creating doesn't erase what happened. It transforms it into something meaningful, something human. All of these practices, grounding, movement, writing, bodywork, connection, creativity, they share one truth. They teach your nervous system that the danger has passed. Healing without medication isn't about rejecting medicine. It's about expanding the definition of healing itself to include awareness, community, and art. Most trauma studies are small and self-reported. They don't promise what will heal everyone, only what might. That's why healing must be personal, flexible, and supported, not standardized. Here at Psych2Go, we believe healing shouldn't be a privilege. That's why we're creating tools like grounding journals, self-soothing kits, and reminder bracelets to make healing something you can touch, see, and feel in your everyday life. Every purchase helps fund local community workshops and healing spaces because healing is not just individual, it's something we build together. So what's one small thing that helps you feel safer in your body today? Maybe it's journaling before bed. Maybe it's stepping outside and feeling the breeze. Or maybe it's texting that one person who always gets you. Share yours in the comments. You never know who might need that reminder today. Healing doesn't happen in one breakthrough moment. It happens quietly every time you choose to come back to yourself.